Foremost, I'd like to thank the Jockey Club for hosting us today. Congratulations to all the athletes. Mr. Priest, our administrative team is here today. I'd like to thank Mr. Priest. Mr. Davis is not here, our athletic director. He does a lot of great stuff for us, especially in golf, especially sports. Always jumping in the van and going up and down and taking these guys where they need to go. I want to thank Mr. Davis as well. As a golf coach, you kind of get to do a lot of different things and see a lot of different growth. Obviously, it's a four-year sport with a lot of guys, and Vance was a guy that I kept around as a freshman because he's a great kid, first of all, but second of all, because his brother played for me and been on my team, so I knew who he was. He was kind of a little apprehensive about coming out because he was just a beginner to the sport, and he doesn't really want me to talk about averages and score averages golf-wise, but, you know, as a freshman, he averaged about 96 for me. He played in a couple of our secondary tournaments that we go on, but he continued to get the golf bug and continued to bite, and it bit him really hard, and he only focused on golf for the next 3.5 years, and so I've been lucky enough to have him, and he's got his stroke average down to about 80.54, 81.5 in leagues, which he's not super excited about. He really only had one bad round, but I think sometimes he gets a little bit hard on himself, and I think that comes from the mental side and how bright he is. He's a 3.8 kid in the classroom. He's involved on our campus throughout, and I think his athletic ability shows in the golf and the dedication that he's made to a country club or a golf sport, and how hard he works tirelessly at times. And I think he's very hard on himself mentally, and I think that has to do with being such a great student and such a great member of our Liberty High School campus. But he's still got really tangible goals in front of him throughout the rest of the season. We have one league match left on the 2nd of May at Stockdale Country Club, and that'll host us for the playoffs, which will start on May 9th at Buena Vista Golf Course, which is where he has coincidentally his lowest round of the year so far this year. So I'm excited with our playoffs and our league season ending on the 2nd, and as our playoffs go forward, the things that Vance has in front of him as a senior to try to accomplish. But again, the athlete is one thing, but the young man that he is another thing, and he's a great young man. And I've become a better coach dealing with him and talking with him and learning from him. And I know my athletes don't like to hear it, but I do take and glean things from them. And this has been one of those guys that I've been happy to coach for the last 3 years. And sadly, when it is hopefully over in June when we go to state, that he'll be moving on. He's chosen to go to Bakersfield College and continue his golf career up there. And so he's got some really big, bright goals in front of him. But he's a great, great young man. Vance Millwee.
First, I just want to thank everybody here for coming today, to Odell's and Bakersfield Jockey Club for putting on such a great event. To all the fellow athletes here receiving awards, it's an honor to stand up here with all of you. Very thankful for my family, for my parents, my grandparents. It's an honor to have both my grandparents here today, and that's certainly a blessing. To my parents for their dedication, their patience. You know, this game, when you pick it up as a freshman and you know nothing about it, it's really tough. And I think you can relate that to any sport when you start off. There's a lot of frustration, but there's a lot of dedication that came from my family, and I think that really helped me to push through a lot of tough times in this game. To Mr. Priest and Mr. Davis, who unfortunately isn't here, to Liberty High School staff and administration that I think surrounds me with a great environment. I think Liberty High School is a great place to be a student and an athlete, and I think we're all lucky to have a great current high school district with schools that surround their athletes with a great environment. Finally, with Coach Boyer, I think Boyer's different than a lot of coaches in this town, especially in golf, because he's very tough on his players. He expects a lot out of us. He really wants us to work hard and give our best. While maybe some athletes perform not so well, coaches will kind of be okay with it. And he's not, you hear it from him. So, that certainly gives a drive and a push and a lot of motivation, and I'm really honored to have been able to be on his team for 4 years. I think it's helped me grow as a golfer, but more importantly, as an individual. So, thank you all for the opportunity.